5 NBA teams that might draft Lonzo Ball. So as we all know, Lonzo Ball is highly talked about and has been for, I guess you could say, the last few months. Now, to be honest, the whole Ball family really has been all together. From LaMelo dropping 92 points to LiAngelo dropping 72 late last year. And now LeVar Ball, the actual father of the Ball brothers, is always in every media station, it feels like. Whether he's getting interviewed, coming out with a statement about how he could beat Jordan 101, or debating with Stephen A. Smith, it doesn't matter. The whole family is pretty unique to say the least. Lonzo Ball though, well, he's entering the 2017 NBA draft. Despite the whole family antics, he's continued to impress despite UCLA being eliminated by Kentucky from the Sweet 16, and Lonzo has really proved that he's a nice player. He's a pretty good facilitator, and he does make his teammates better. Not to mention, even with that stanky jump shot of his, he still shoots alright from behind the arc. Now, I'll be honest with you, even if he doesn't go top 2, he'll probably be one of the most talked about players heading into next season, just because of the media hype from his dad and the whole Ball family situation. Yeah, I personally don't think that he'll go number 1, but I do want to make this video talking about Lonzo Ball because, well, he's clearly the most interesting out of everyone entering the draft. And so yeah, here's 5 NBA teams that might draft Lonzo Ball. And I will say that a lot of what I say in this video also depends on what draft pick these teams actually end up getting, so you have to keep that in mind. Anyway, number 5, the Los Angeles Lakers. This one is one that I obviously have to put on here. I mean, LeVar and Lonzo Ball have already said how much they'd love him to go to the Lakers, especially LeVar Ball, who said that Lonzo would only play for the Lakers and nobody else should draft him. Well, hopefully there's mutual interest there, otherwise that might get awkward real fast. Obviously they have to draft him first, but if that happens, it would be nice for Lonzo, who obviously goes to UCLA, and for him to get drafted by LA would be cool for him and obviously his family. But like I said, it's up for the team, and does it really make sense for the Lakers to draft another point guard? The Lakers already have D'Angelo Russell and Jordan Clarkson, plus the Lakers have been looking for wing help. Using their high draft pick on yet another point guard would look like a bad pick. However, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'm not a huge fan of D'Angelo Russell, especially not at the point guard position. If I were LA, I'd definitely look into drafting Lonzo Ball and actually moving Russell to the shooting guard position. I feel like having a facilitator like Lonzo Ball and pairing him up with Russell and Ingram could be pretty beneficial for the Lakers. And in that case, they can also look to maybe trade Clarkson or keep him as a solid 6th man, which I do feel like the best option for them is actually to trade him, but that's just me in my opinion. Maybe another first rounder for him would be pretty cool for the Lakers if they can get that. But as for the Lakers, they've spent a long time gathering young assets, and at this point of their rebuilding process, they might just want to add talent to their roster more than worrying about how they fit into the current scheme, which the Lakers now know what they need to do. And with a dynamic Ball, Russell and Clarkson combination, I give the possibility of the Lakers drafting Lonzo Ball a pretty high 8 out of 10. So look out for the Lakers getting Lonzo Ball. Number 4, the Philadelphia 76ers. So the 76ers are definitely in the process right now, and personally, I can't wait until we get to see how Ben Simmons plays, but the duo of Simmons and Embiid, if they can stay healthy, it will be very interesting to see how they play in the NBA. The thing is, since they are both injured this season, the 76ers are still projected to have a high draft pick and probably in the top 5 or even top 3 in the upcoming draft. Right now, the only area of the court they've yet to address is their backcourt, but they've also said they'd be willing to run Ben Simmons at the point guard. The thing is, this draft class is literally stacked with point guards. Not just Lonzo Ball, but Markelle Fultz, De'Aaron Fox, Dennis Smith, and other players. So surely drafting a point guard if Ball is available, I just doubt they pass up on someone like that. So this means Ben Simmons can either run more of a point forward position like LeBron James plays. In my opinion though, Fultz is a better option for Philly if they can pick him, but Ball isn't a bad player either. They've been skimming by the borderline in NBA point guards for the last few years, and it's this time that they use one of their many lottery picks on an upgrade in that area. Luckily they have 2 guys in Fultz and Ball who are the type of point guards that they've actually been waiting on. Imagine this lineup for the 76ers of, at the point guard, either Ball or Fultz, at the 2, Stauskas, or even if they can sign someone in free agency like my man Caldwell Pope. I love Caldwell Pope. I think he's going to be a really good player. I want to make a video on Pope in the future. But imagine him at the 2, or obviously Stauskas, because he's on the team right now. At the 3, Ben Simmons. At the 4, Dario Saric, and obviously Joel Embiid is interchangeable with Jahlil Okafor at the center position. It sounds like a really bright future in Philly, and it's pretty exciting if all is healthy and they all play well together. Obviously, they're young, it's going to take time, but Ball or Fultz at the point guard position, it could be interesting for the 76ers. Ball's best skill, though, is his ability to impact a game without actually scoring or really needing the ball in his hands. This means he won't take away touches from Joel Embiid, Dario Saric, or Ben Simmons, and he'll just be happy to set these guys up for the right play. In saying that, I do think the 76ers will look to draft Fultz ahead of Lonzo Ball, but if they can't, they'll definitely go after Ball, even if his three-point shot doesn't translate over to the NBA, which is why I give the possibility of the 76ers drafting Lonzo Ball a 6 out of 10. Number 3, the Orlando Magic. Now, this is interesting in my opinion, and I'll straight up say that I don't see the Magic drafting a point guard in this year's draft. Even though it's a stacked class of point guards and Elfrid Payton isn't really the guy for Orlando, and it's quite obvious that he isn't. I mean, he's a nice player, but he still can't really shoot that well. He's not really done much in Orlando since they've drafted him, and he isn't the point guard I guess they're really looking for. And it's just the fact that he can't shoot. I think that really limits the Magic in what they're trying to do there. Plus, their whole management is just not really working out. They traded Oladipo, who I think they should have kept personally, but I mean, we all know the Magic aren't really in the best position right now, and I still think the small forward position is their weakest by a mile, and drafting someone like Josh Jackson or Jason Tatum might help them out more than drafting a point guard. But in saying that, with Orlando, it might just be the case of drafting the best player possible at their pick, but it honestly does depend on what pick the Magic actually end up getting in this year's draft, because if they fall into the top 3, I'd assume they draft the best possible player, and it may just be Lonzo Ball. Do I think he'll end up in Orlando? Probably not, but it is a possibility, and I do give it a 4 out of 10, which isn't high, I know that, but I just don't see the Magic getting a point guard in this year's draft. I do see them getting Josh Jackson or Jason Tatum, who I think could be really beneficial for the Magic anyway. Number 2, the New York Knicks. Imagine Kristaps Porzingis with a truly special passer. This would make Madison Square Garden the place to be. Obviously, maybe not, but it would make it pretty exciting, and it would make the place buzz. Maybe just a little bit. Ball and Porzingis may be a nice place to start for a New York team who wants to rebuild. It's also quite obvious that the New York Knicks are a complete mess, but they're a mess that needs a young point guard. There is an obvious hole at the point guard position that needs to be addressed, because obviously Derrick Rose is not going to be on the team next year, and I do want to make a video on Derrick Rose, which that might be my next video, since Derrick Rose is probably not going to be on the team next year, so they may as well just draft a nice young guy and move towards the youth movement. New York needs something, and maybe Ball is that something. Plus, if the Knicks are really going to try and run the triangle offense, theoretically Ball should fit into that system well. But who knows if that's what they'll actually be doing next season. I personally don't think they should do it, but that's just me. I don't think it worked this year, and I don't think it's going to work next year either. But you never know. The only thing that could derail interest here is Phil Jackson. He's pretty unpredictable in what he believes New York needs, and it's possible there is something he sees in Ball that he believes won't fit the vision of the team. Despite Ball's potential to fit in well here, it could all end up being derailed by the Knicks just being the Knicks. That's why I give them a 5 out of 10 possibility. In saying that, Phil Jackson might draft someone that you may not expect, like he did with Kristaps Porzingis. Yeah, okay. So maybe don't boo the guy that the Knicks will draft on draft day. That's all I'm saying. Number 1, the Boston Celtics. Well. This is the team that is currently the first seed in the East, and is also looking like they'll get the first overall pick as well. But, do I think they'll draft Lonzo Ball? Well, I mean, Boston taking a point guard would be strange. They have Marcus Smart and obviously Isaiah Thomas. Terry Rozier isn't bad. I personally love Terry Rozier, by the way. They already have Avery Bradley, who can even run point guard at times if they're desperate. However, what Ball does provide is a different set of skills that Boston doesn't have in their guards. Marcus Smart is obviously a more defensive type of player. Terry Rozier is just, I don't even know what he is. He's just a nice all-around type of guy, does a little bit of everything. And Isaiah Thomas, I mean, we all know about Isaiah Thomas. He's 5'9", but he can shoot. He's actually quite good at getting inside the lane, going under people and getting some nice layups in at times. So they're all different. However, Ball is also really different. He's long and athletic. In a way, so is Markelle Fultz though. And that's actually who I think they'll draft. I think they'll either draft Ball first and trade him for a superstar like Jimmy Butler or Paul George or someone like that, or they'll actually just choose a player and he'll be Fultz, in my opinion. This is because, like I said, it could just be the case of Boston taking the best player available whenever they end up picking. This is why I believe that Boston has a 7 out of 10 chance to draft Ball, but if they do, they'll trade him in my opinion. Or if they don't draft Lonzo Ball and trade him away, they'll just choose Markelle Fultz. That's what I think. Anyway, let me know what you think down below in the comment section about the Boston Celtics, about any team I said on this list, about any team in the NBA. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and now, you probably noticed that I didn't mention the Phoenix Suns, and that's just because I don't think they'll go after Ball. I know that both the Magic and the Suns really need small forwards, but I think the Suns are almost set with Bledsoe and Booker, and could use a guy like Josh Jackson anyway. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, let's aim for 4,000 likes. And if you're new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button, alright? If you guys enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you guys could hit that subscribe button. A lot of you guys are new around here, and a lot of you guys watch the videos, but you don't always hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it right now if you guys could just go down below, hit the subscribe button. It takes 1 second, 2 seconds, whatever. It'd be awesome if you guys want to watch more NBA content on this channel. And let me know where or who you think Lonzo Ball will be drafted to, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace! Number 2, the New York Knicks. Imagine Kristaps Porzingis with a truly special pasta? Man, that's going in the bloopers. Pasta? What the fuck, man? I do feel like some pasta though, not gonna lie.